I have spent 14 good years making films in Marathi, and I have kind of made 8 films here. So I have now known the industry in and out. I have known people in the industry, and now moving forward, I definitely want to revive my banner, which was the Aryan Film Company. I want to make films under it, and I want to do what my dad wanted to do as the president. He always used to tell me that the industry will thrive and work if new talent is given opportunities, and that is where they surprise us. New talent, when they come and make films, is when you kind of really are sowing seeds for the future. And I saw him do that with Mangesh Hadare, Numesh Kulkarni, Sachin Kundalkar. I saw him do that with all these filmmakers, who are starting out making their films, and how he was so passionate about supporting them. So I do foresee kind of attempting to do that in my own way, where as a producer I can help new young filmmakers make their films in Marathi. And I feel that the only way you can turn around the way the industry works is by giving these young filmmakers a chance to make their own films. When I made my first film in Marathi, I always felt that I wanted to make films because I enjoy making films. And I always felt I would want to continue making films because I would want to continue enjoying this process of making films. So when you make a genre and you kind of try to explore it to the max, you try to explore all the films made in that genre, and you study them and you work on it, and you kind of work with a team to get that genre right. Once the film is out and it's done, the excitement of it kind of diminishes to a certain level, because you kind of are getting into the next film. You don't want to do that exact same thing all over again. So I never repeated my genre till 2019, till I made Zombivli. Till Zombivli, I made 9 films, all either it was a comedy, a horror comedy, a coming of age film, an action film, a boy detective film, a college romance. So I've explored everything. And Zombivli, in a way, kind of gave me that insight that you find your home somewhere, right? You kind of find, you settle down somewhere. When you bhatak ke sab jagah pe aake, you realize ki something kind of really you are good at, or you really enjoy doing. So for me, horror comedies was that genre, which I felt I really would want to explore more of. And I still feel, I have not done justice to it. I still feel there's so much more to do. With Kakuda, I explored a spoof version of horror comedies. With Munjya, I explored folklore in horror comedies. In Zombivli, I explored a like Zombivlis in Dombivli. That's why it was called Zombivli. So I explored a complete socio horror because it had a social messaging to it. So in the horror comedy world, there are so many sub-genres to do still. Now I'm attempting mythical horror comedy with vampires. So this is my next film. Post Munjya, when you say, are you really bhoot la rahe ho kya? To main bhoot nahi la raha hu. I'm bringing a vampire into the Indian space of films. And my vampire is nothing like the Westerners that you've seen. It is a very desi, it is a very mythical vampire. In Indian mythology, there are a lot of references to bloodsuckers. And these are not called vampires here, but there's a different name that we always refer to them as. So I am kind of picking up from that idea and building my own vampires who will be in this universe of horror comedies that we were talking about. Because I make it a comedy, I don't make it a serious film. I make it a film that you laugh at. I don't kind of tell you, okay, this is my belief and kind of believe in it. I tell you that this is a film that I'm setting up, this is my world, and have a laugh at it. Take it at what it is. Take it as a film. Look at it as a fictional world I'm creating. Have fun, move on. Don't kind of, and that's you when you make a comedy, the audience is also aware of it. A lot of people ask me this, that Munjya mein tum ek Brahmin ka bhoot dikha rahe ho, wo janeau pehen ke hai, wo bali laga ke hai, all that, which is very, very iconic to the culture. So I said, if people realize this is a comedy, if people realize that this is taken from folklore, because in folklore, if you see how Munjya is represented, he's exactly like this. So I said, if I'm going to kind of make a certain world that is make-believe, and I'm not kind of committing to any beliefs, ki ye sahi hai, ye galat hai, but I'm just kind of making a film that you'll have fun with, I don't think anybody should have a problem. And it's exactly what, we have not had a single issue. Nobody's walked up and said ki ye ban kar do. In fact, what was the most surprising is when I put this film out for censorship, I was the most concerned, because I was like wondering ki abhi censor mein to ye cut gaya, and you have to kind of take into consideration this fact that my creature was 3D. So if I had to take the Janev off him, it was a big process. It was not just ki chalo isko clean up kar do. It had to be re-rendered, and the whole film would have taken a month more for me to deliver. And my censor happened a week and a half before the release of the film. So I was very tensed. And when the censor verdict came and they said no cuts, UA, go straight, I was shocked. I said, "Yari, ye kya ho gaya?" And then I asked the censor board, "Are you okay with all of this?" They said, "We understand. This is a fun film. It is meant to enjoy. It's meant to laugh at. It's not, and you're not kind of hurting anybody's sentiments, so we're okay with it." So I think that intention comes through, and now people have kind of moved on and become more mature about this.